So, Mr. Rudd, what brings you to Villanova today?
Well, there was long lines. It's a big day, and we wanted to give out some water and tell people thank you for, sticking around and voting.
Why do you think it's important for college students like us to exercise our right to vote?
Well, you live in this country, and, we want to have a voice. A lot of people don't get this opportunity. They don't have this chance, and it's important to do it.
Hey, this is Jack Urians with VTV. It's Election Day, November 5th, 2024. We are in the beautiful swing state of Pennsylvania, and we're going to ask some Villanova students why they're voting, how they feel about the future of the country, and so on. There's a common saying in political jargon, so goes Pennsylvania, so goes the nation. It's one of the most crucial swing states in this election, and because Villanova is in Pennsylvania, the input of this student population matters a lot. Now, a lot of people are going to assume that because this is a northeastern college with a majority female population, it's going to lean heavily Democratic, but there's also to take into account that this is a very Catholic population. There are a lot of people from suburban areas in the student population, so that quantifies it a bit, and it makes the voter base more complex. And so we interviewed a random sample of our fellow Wildcats to just get them talking about their experiences with this election and what issues matter to them, and here's what we found.
What issues are the most important to you during this election?
Definitely reproductive rights, but then also just like the rights for all. I feel like that's a big part of the election, and for like the party that I'm going for, that's a really big deal of like making sure that everyone feels like they belong and are protective. So that goes with reproductive rights, women's rights, LGBTQI rights.
The issues that matter the most to me right now are, one, women's rights and making sure that they can retain them, and two, making sure that everyone feels like they're equal in this country.
My name's Kathy Buckley, and I'm running for the Pennsylvania House seat. And what do I stand for? I am standing for the businesses to get up and running. During COVID, they were shut down, and we've done nothing to improve them. I'm standing up for these students because they can't get any housings. They can't afford it. So I'm trying to get all the students to be able to someday afford a house.
And what issues matter to you the most during this election?
Unity is a really big deal for me. Also, the rights of people and compassion is very important to me, and I would like to see that reflected in politics.
Totally. One of my top issues at the moment is probably reproductive freedom. I have two sisters. I have a lot of extended family, girls, a lot of friends here that are women. So it's just like one of the things that I care about the most. But I also care about education, and I care about, other things like that.
I feel like this is a really pivotal election, especially in the name of human rights right now. I mean, there's a lot being thrown around, especially with like reproductive rights. And I know personally, like, I don't ever want future generations to have to fight for their rights that I know like my parents had to, like my mom. So I'm really important to me to like keep fighting in the name of human rights and like see a lot of progress be made.
I think for starters, I'd like to have a morally sound candidate in office. But past that, abortion's definitely really important to me, as well as climate change.
Pennsylvania is considered a must-win for both presidential campaigns. Out of the mere 7 battleground states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, the Keystone State has the most electoral weight with 19 votes. Among analysis, the combination of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin is often referred to as the blue wall, because if Vice President Harris were to win all of her expected states along with the blue wall, she would win with exactly 270 votes, the minimum threshold. Can you tell me about this organization?
Sure. So Let's Vote Nova is a coalition of groups on campus, including student government and student life, that is trying to educate students about the voting process, encourage them to get registered, and then today to encourage them and help them to vote, because this is the first time that Villanova's campus has been a polling place.
Why is it important that Villanovans vote on Villanova's campus?
I would say voting is important for everyone to do. It's part of the civic process. It's also part of our Villanova University mission to help our students to become productive and thoughtful citizens who also care for the common good. And I would consider voting part of the common good.
How long have you been online, John?
I've been in line for like 45 minutes.
And why do you continue to stay online even though there's a long wait?
So my registration actually had an issue, and I'm going to have to stay in line an additional hour to get that worked out. But it's incredibly important to me.
So this is a very long line. How long have you been waiting in this line so far? And how long do you think you have left? Because unfortunately, I can't see the end of that line up there.
Yes, so I've been waiting in line for about an hour now, and I predict another hour probably coming. I went into line and they were like, sorry, it's going to be around 2 hours. I have nothing else to do tonight, so why not send it in the back of the Mullen Center?
And how was your experience waiting on this very long line in front of the Mullen Center today?
It was not great. I got here at 11:45 this morning and stood in line till about 2:30, so that was very rough. I wish I brought a chair, some food. It was not fun.
All right, Colin, this is a very long line. How long you think you've been standing for?
So I actually voted off campus because I live off campus. So I voted in Conshohocken, and it probably took me like 10 minutes. But all my friends are here because they live on campus, so I came back to support them and let them have people here that support them so they can wait in their line to vote today.
Well, that's very kind of you, Colin. I can guarantee a lot of people watching are feeling real envious of that 10-minute wait right now. You mentioned you're here to just support your friends. Why is that important to you?
Well, I think going out to vote is really important, and I'm really happy to see so many people out here registered to vote. I think it's a good reflection on Villanova and the students here. But I just want to support people. The lines are long. I don't want people to give up. There's a lot of stuff on the ballot that really matters, so yeah.
All right, Steve, how long you been waiting in line?
I've been in line for about 2 hours now, just about, a little under 2 hours, but still feel great, still going strong, and we're going to push through.
All right, that's good to hear, man. What's this atmosphere been like out here and leading up to getting here? And
It's been great. I didn't know if I should come earlier or later, but since I've been on for 2 hours, it's been great. Energy is high. They're playing music. They've been handing out Domino's pizza, candy. I mean, it's really good.
We have already seen the implications of Pennsylvania's importance. Donald Trump has made a point to make the phrase "drill, baby, drill" synonymous with his campaign, likely an attempt to win over those in the Pennsylvania oil and gas industry. He and other Republicans have put an emphasis on the fentanyl issue, a subject that resonates with Pennsylvanians considering how hard the drug has hit Philadelphia. Further, his gain among Hispanic and Black voters is helpful in getting his support from the traditionally progressive urban areas of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
How do you feel currently right now before voting?
I'm really excited, especially as like a first-time voter, and I feel like it's a really important election, like I said, and it's really heartwarming to see like all the people on campus and like fighting for their rights and like in the name of voting.
And how do you feel about the future of our country?
Right now I am a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be totally honest with that.
I hope our country turns around and we can actually earn money and actually save money and have a great future. I mean, America was born on businesses growing and having good jobs and having a great future. And right now, you don't have that.
I'm feeling very nervous. It's a very important election, a very historic election, and I'm very excited to see the results and how the campus reacts.
I do think that Kamala Harris will pull through and win it. However, I don't think it's going to be announced until like this weekend.
And regardless of your political affiliation, how do you think the results of this election will go?
Oh, I really don't know. I don't think we're going to know for a really long time, or at least a couple weeks, but I think that it's going to be a very divisive time.
We're really polarized right now in America, and I feel like it shouldn't have to be that way. Like, sure, we'll disagree, but like, you need to hear each other and you need to talk to one another, and I feel like that's the most important part.
Vice President Harris has also made a concentrated attempt at winning the votes of blue-collar Pennsylvania workers. In 2019, she made comments against fracking. Fracking, of course, being one of the largest blue-collar industries here in the Keystone State. This time around, in her first presidential run as the Democratic nominee, she's leaned more conservatively towards fracking, prioritizing the interests of blue-collar Pennsylvania workers. In terms of momentum, Kamala Harris picked up a lot of it after Joe Biden dropped out in the summer, had that about until the conventions, and then slowly, steadily started to lose her lead in the polls until just about a week ago when comments made at a Donald Trump Madison Square Garden rally regarding the island of Puerto Rico went viral, surging people across the country to come back and bring Kamala Harris back in front in the polls on Election Day.
Though there are reasons to believe that Villanova's vote will be somewhat indicative of Pennsylvania's, we must remember that there are qualifiers and that ultimately this is a coin flip election. This has been razor thin the entire time, and even when Harris was leading on Trump or Trump was leading on Harris, it has still been well within the margin of error. This is one of the closest election cycles that we have seen. It's been a very polarizing election, but I think we saw tonight that Villanova is a community where people are not ashamed of what they have to believe, but are also tolerant of other alternative viewpoints. And I think that's something really special that we have here. So with all of us at VTV, have a great day, have a great night, and we'll see you next time.